How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, this story I'm just going to talk off the bat, and it's about mobile phones in prison. Why is the demand so high for mobile phones in prison? As we know, mobile phones are banned in prison, but they are everywhere. You've seen prison footage, you've seen bullying, you've seen prison fights, you've seen prison riots, as we saw at Winchester. You saw, like I say, this is just what goes on in prisons now. Like I say, people just think prisoners are just using mobile phones to to sort out drug arrangements coming in, parcels coming in. Now, yeah, that is obviously one way. Now, a lot of prisoners use mobile phones because obviously, like I say, that they're using for illegal activity, right? Not everyone that's got a mobile phone in prison is using it for that purpose, though. No. The prison phone's very expensive, right? Very, very expensive, and obviously those calls are recorded, right? Now, if you're on remand and stuff and you need to talk to people, it's easier to use a mobile phone. But also, in a legal sense, well, it's obviously illegal to have a mobile phone, but it's like people use mobile phones because the prison phone is so damn expensive. Prisoners also use mobile phones to go on dating apps. People might think, hold on, they're in prison, but they're on dating apps. Of course, Tinder, Plenty of Fish. They use social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It goes on, man. And like I say, mobile phones are commonplace in prison. Some people just have the basher phones, the little beat the boss chair phones and stuff that are the size of a key fob. Other prisoners have actually got iPhones, Android phones in prison, Samsungs and stuff, and they're using it. Like I say, some people are using it to get in contact with their partner or their children. No illegal activity at all. Other people are arranging to bring consignments of drugs in. Other people are texting prison officers that they've got on the payroll because the prison officers bringing drugs into the prison. Social media to update their social media, to film incidents within prisons, which then end up on social media with hashtags of HMP, jail life, pen life, all the usual stuff that people put in. Obviously, dating apps, social media, illegal activity, run drug networks and stuff like that from behind bars, intimidate witnesses. Another reason that people use mobile phones in prison, say that kid's just landed at the jail and he's telling you he got sentenced to so long, but then prisoners are very clued up. They say, why you been sent to jail, bro? And the kid might say, oh, I got 4 years for this offence. But prisoners know that offence doesn't carry that sentence, because obviously every sentence has got a minimum and a maximum, obviously depending on mitigating, aggravating circumstances and stuff like that. So they're like, hang on. So they'll use the phone and they'll actively go into the cell and they'll Google the person's name. They'll try and find them on social media. They'll say, what court was you sentenced at, bro, and all this, and they can go on court serve, and they can actively Google. Say it's a story that's hit the news, right? They can find out about the prisoner. So you could find out if somebody was potentially a sex offender or something like that, or like it's not added up why they're in prison. You're like, hang on, that sentence doesn't reflect that offence. Let's get on the Google. And it goes on. And it's led to prisoners being attacked in prison. Like I say, prisoners use it to stay in contact with girls that they might have met. Like I say, social media, like you've got to think dating sites. Prisoners have met mistresses on Plenty of Fish, and people like, they're in jail, but they go on jail and they're like, yeah, I'm doing life, or I've got a minimum of a 10-year tariff before I'm eligible for parole, and they're on these fucking dating apps, and women love a bad boy, don't they? But then they moan, don't visit no jail, but they're on there, and prisoners use them. Use it to, like, there's prisoners on Twitter that I interact with that are anonymously using their phones, not for, well, illegal activity in the sense they're using social media. They've got a mobile phone that's banned, but they're just using it for social media to tell people how bad prison is. There's many different reasons. Like I say, I know prisoners that in jail that have had a mobile phone for no other reason than on an evening they want to say goodbye to their daughter, they want to say goodnight to their daughter, they want to read their daughter a bedtime story over the phone, or it goes on, man. People do video calls, you've got Skype. Prisoners use these different means to stay in contact with their friends and their family. Now, for me, if the prison, for me, prisoners in prison should be able to receive incoming calls via the prison PIN system. Say it generates an extension number. Pre-approved numbers will be able to ring between, let's say, 6 a.m. and midnight. That means the prisoner can spend his money on other things. He doesn't have to send his money on credit, because a lot of prisoners' friends and family and girlfriends on the out have got free evening and weekend calls. They're on contract. They're on gift gap. They've got free minutes, stuff like that, yeah. Then the prisoner can spend money on other things that are not the prison phone. It would encourage family ties. It would reduce the demand for mobile phones within our prisons. That's just something that I personally think would go a long way. Now, Lord Farmer himself stated that prisoners who have family contact whilst behind bars are 39% less likely to reoffend. So I think it's a great initiative. I think that it should be rolled out. I think it's not implemented, guys. Prisoners have got to ring prisoners' families, unless, like I've alluded to, mobile phones. So yeah, it's just an idea that I've got. What do I know? I'm an ex-con. I know nothing about nothing. I'm an uneducated street kid. Gonna leave it there, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.